Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I thought about doing this one, I thought about it some time. That being For Your Eyes Only. I remember reviewing For Your Eyes Only before, and I've got to admit, I was going to talk about films of the 80s and some I like. This has to be one of them. Unlike most of the Bond movies, I felt this was kind of a bit, I could put it down to earth, and even Albert Art Butler and Harry Sauceman, I say more Albert Art Butler, wanted to bring it down to earth, because all fair said and done, even though I do like Moonraker from '79, I do like Moonraker, even Albert R. Butler felt at the time, time to bring it down to earth again. Now, for people who've ever seen the ending of The Spy Who Loves Me, I like to call The Spy Shags Me, you do see original title saying For Your Eyes Only, but it does with Star Wars being big and all these other sci-fi films at the time. That is why they decided to go for Moonraker. But they felt it's time to bring it down to earth. So this one being 1981, even though the film was maybe in 1980, they decided to do For Your Eyes Only. Sadly to say, Bernard Lee, the actor that played M, sadly passed away, so they had to work around the death of M. Well, as they say, Bernard Lee as M. But most of the other characters are in it again. You do get a sort of a love letter from On Your Majesty's Secret Service, where there's a scene where Watson Moore is visiting his wife's grave. You remember the ending of On Your Majesty's Secret Service? You know what I mean. You get an air to talk to, you got to see which got Blowfield, but they weren't right at the time, weren't allowed to use the copyrights of Blowfield. So they had to alter the name. We all know it was Blowfield. He pats him on the head, keep your hair on, drops him down. Now the song itself is iconic, brings up people who may not know. The original artist chose for the song For Your Eyes Only was only going to be Debbie Harris from Blondie. And she did actually sing a version of it, and I've heard the version. It's not bad, it's not bad. But in all fair said and done, I think Sheena Easton nailed it to the part, and for once they made the right choice. Sheena Easton did a beautiful song, For Your Eyes Only, which we all know appeared in the music video and in the main ticket, showing her beautiful face at that time, being Sheena Easton. For your eyes only, and I'm not going to do the rest because I'll kill it. And this is what I love. This is what I love about For Your Eyes Only. Apart from knocking my dog, it'll stop starting. What I love about For Your Eyes Only is it's action, 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 action all the way. You got a scene, you got this dude, very pretty to look at, nice eyes, and she misses her family getting killed. Again, this is a bit where the Bond movies are getting a little bit more violent. Compared to License to Kill, though, it's not as violent, but it's not as comic book like the ones in the 70s. So I do think it's doing this one. They definitely were bringing the Bond movies down to earth. I love the fact that you get the Ultra Lotus again. The only difference is it gets destroyed in this one. It gets blown up. And Bond's basically on a mission to find out about this cytonic bomb. It's finishing the opening, you see what I mean? There's a bomb. That reminds me a bit of The Spy Who Loves Me, but in this, they all get killed. And it's an expulsion. And they're after this thing, and if the Russians get it, we get this is the political days of the Soviet Union and all that, JZB. If the Russians get it, it's World War fucking 3. So basically Bond's still sent on his mission, but in this one, I've got to admit, it's not really played for laughs. What's a more basic state, and like most of the Bond movies, where what's more in it, you get your typical British humour. That is, you get a bit of the ending, where it's sort of a love letter to Margaret Thatcher and Jennings. Everyone remembers the ending of For Your Eyes Only, which had well-known comedian, Player, who's well known for playing Margaret Thatcher in a lot of comedies. May she rest in peace, as she's no longer with us. But nevertheless, it's still a good one. So you got action in it. I love the music in it. A lot of good action music, and believe it or not, the music was the same one that did just the music to the Rocky films. There's a little bit of me that was played. If you remember the original 1981 theatrical trailer, there's a bit where it plays a little bit of the music to The Spy Who Loves Me. You know that bit. Bum, bum. It was mostly the action music all the way through the Bond film, Spy Who Loves Me. There's a bit of me, even though it's played in the trailer For Your Eyes Only, they don't play it in the film. And I just wish they brought that music back, because I just love to hear that music again. But I still like the action music. It's well done. The action scenes are very well done. And that's what I love. That's what I love about For Your Eyes Only. It's action, it's fucking action all the way, and I love it. I fucking love it. And that's what I love about the film. It's action all the fucking way, and I love it. So you've got a lot of good action pieces in it, a lot of good action scenes all the way. And the dude basically wants to go and offend Denno. Get it right, Fezzer. Want to go and offend Deco, a personal fan Denno. Oh, so wants to just get a revenge. Let's just say that. And I love the fact he uses a bow arrow, which, if you remember the original iconic poster, you see a beautiful girl, legs out, and a bow arrow, and Roger Moore stood at the side with his gun. This is the one, if you ever remember that well-known poster. This is a bow arrow, and it's not just for the poster to decide it. You do see it in the film. So it's nice to know it's not just there for eye tender. This girl basically knows how to angle herself. There's bits where they're underwater, and there's a bit what makes me thinking of it. If Tamlin saw this film, and a couple of years later inspired him to do the film The Abyss. Because they see the underwater, they've got a submarine. I remember saying this before, you get a bit of music, it sounds like the Jaws theme. I just wish they had Jaws in the film. Talented in Moonraker, he turned into a dud there. But there's a bit where Jaws is fighting with Bond. I'd love to see that, underwater, and Bond puts a land bomb on him and pulls him up instead of just being an everyday fella. But that's not the case. It doesn't happen that way. I thought the film wasn't that much compared to the other villains, but I do remember the actor being in a lot. And funny enough, he's the same villain that has appeared in '89 in the last Indiana Jones film, The Last Crusade. He's funny enough plays a villain in this. It's kind of one of them at first you think he's a dud there, and he's not. You got enough with Die. Have you ever seen Fast and Fiddler on the Roof? He is one of them that helps Bond out in the film. You do get a lot of other well-known actors in it as well. There's well-known scene in it where Bond kicks a die over the heads and he falls to his doom, which I do admit Roger Moore never felt comfortable doing, and I think originally he was going to do a scene where he walks away and leaves him, but then he altered it where Bond kicks him over the heads. Which I don't like that, because it gave Bond more of an heads. Then he doesn't fuck around in this. Apart from the comedy with Margaret Thatcher scene, and the scene with Bond's running to get a car, and it's a little dinky car, you've got this like chown music. In this one, I don't think Roger Moore threw as much of his humour in it, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that, because in my eyes, I felt that's what it needed at that point. It needed to be a bit more down to earth, not as comedian. But that's what I like about this one. Has a beautiful store. Again, you've got the typical ending with Bond snogging the door. And again, without repeating myself, you've got Margaret Thatcher and Jenny's comedy scene. But other than that, it's a different known to the other Bond films. Again, you've got the beautiful music at the end. For Your Eyes Only. Sang by Sheena Easton. It was very popular in the 80s. This is definitely a good Bond film, and it's a good stepping stone for what I'm going to do next. But now and again, I'm going to talk about my favourite action films. Why not? Why not? But that's For Your Eyes Only. It's a dudden. Into then, have a dudden, and I'll see you later for some more movies and more movie reviews.